Okay, welcome back, ladies and gents, to Apex Investor. Today, the market was down. Stocks hit by the biggest sell-off since August crash. Notice they call it a crash. Markets wrap. Okay, so if we look at this bond market price in rate cuts, rarely seen outside recessions. So notice this trend. Notice the market crash in the 80s. And we see the recessions. We see the 12-month change. 12-month change in Fed fund. That pretty much leads to a recession every time. And then we see it happen again, just in the early 90s. I know the 2000 tech bubble. Yeah, there was a recession there. And then 2008. And we can see not so much in 2020. That was, I think it was independent of that. It was more to do with lockdowns anyway. But we can see this is probably the largest we've seen since 1980. So this is looking like, unless it becomes a 1995 situation, I don't see it being avoided. I see this leading up to either a recession, a depression, or a market crash. In any case, it's going to react. It's pretty inevitable unless whoever's president can do something dramatic. So you will have noticed today a lot of the stocks were down. I want to point out Inovio in particular because this is a good buy, not at this price, but it is slowly making its way down to our price target, or my price target specifically is between $4 to $5 is a really good buy for Inovio, which tends to go up pretty regularly to at least $10 plus. So it has been above $7 for the longest time, finally below $7, but still waiting for it to touch the $4 to $5 support level. As you can see that chart. Okay, so I think that's all we'll talk about in terms of Inovio. Move ahead to micro cloud hologram, aka HOLO. And we're going to cover this one quite extensively today. There's a lot of information to look at. Just looking at today's action, 31 million, not really good. Just staying steady. No one's really buying or selling in a big way. The days range 37 cents to 43. So it did spike a little bit at around noon time. In terms of the last 5 days, we can see it's kind of stable relative to where it was at 32 cents just a week ago. And it's finding some support. So I'm not sure how this announcement, whether it's going to be official or not, how it will affect the price. I did have a weird dream about the HOLO price going really, really low, but because of what we're going to cover. Okay, this is an older post, but it is pointing out, actually a day ago, it's not that old. It's pointing out how October, November, December are historically low months for HOLO. So we might be in for some really hard times ahead leading up to the potential reverse stock split. Okay, so this is basically the focus of this video. It's the notice that was posted on their official website. It says if they do the reverse split, looks like they might be doing it, but they need to take a vote first. Shareholders need to vote on it. And it's going to be a 1 for 20 split, not a 1 for 10. And then they have a second proposal, increase the authorized share capital from 500,000, which is 25 million shares, to $10 million, which is 500 million shares, which will dilute the stock in all honesty. And then change in director appointment. Fourth proposal, I didn't see this. amendment to memorandum and articles of association, remove and replace existing terms, allowing more flexibility in how directors are managed. Fifth, implement a dual class share structure with Class A and Class B. So 2 different shares. I don't know if I like that one. 1 vote per share or 20 votes per share. These proposals indicate HOLO's preparing for significant changes, potentially positioning itself for growth and restructuring. While some proposals might lead to short-term adjustments, they could set the stage for long-term benefits if they implement these effectively. Let me know what you guys think. If it's only so easy, we could bring the price up. Yeah, they need the reverse split. It looks like that is... I had a video. I posted a video. I think the last one I posted was about 3 scenarios. And basically, they're kind of playing into that. Those scenarios, not to exactly... to the exact minute detail, but... So this is the notice. There are 3 proposals in this. I want to make sure this is valid, like it's authentic. So let's make sure this is real. So I'm here at this website, mCloud. Is this their website? I've never been to it. So I have not really done my DD, sadly, as much as I wanted to. Okay, this is their website. So their website is MC HOLO or mCHOLO. So this is their official website. Interesting. I mean, it looks pretty basic to me. Let's go to the bottom. Company profile. They're the global leading holographic technology provider. I mean, that remains to be seen. They could say they're the time travel experts. I don't really... I can't confirm or deny. They say they have 183 holographic patents. If they can deliver, then so be it, but that's not what we're here for, right? We're here for the big squeeze. We're here for a pump and dump. That's what we're here for. Maybe hold a few shares in this if you like, whatever you want to do, but I want to make sure that this is authentic, this notice. So it is right here, recent filings. So if I could view that in, what format is this? PDF? Hold on, let me just make sure I can open it. Okay, so I did confirm that document is in fact authentic, and this person asks a question, very valid question. Wouldn't they, I think that's the shorts, wouldn't they try to drive the price down between now and the reverse stock split? Yeah, I think they will. It's just a no-brainer to me. So I'm going to look at this document, and then we're going to look at some hypotheticals. It might be another video. But let's look over this document. So it says microcloud hologram, notice of annual general meeting of members to be held September the 27th. So that is roughly, 23 days from now. You're cordially invited to attend an annual general meeting. So this is the annual meeting for shareholders. And they are presenting 5 proposals. Proposal 1, to consider and vote upon an ordinary resolution to effect a 1-for-20 share consolidation, basically a reverse stock split. So if you have, let's just say you have 100 shares, so you won't have 100 anymore, you only have, I guess 5. You'll have 5 shares as a result. So every 20 issued ordinary shares will be consolidated into 1 share. But that is exactly what happened the previous reverse stock split, where they had a 1-for-10 consolidation. So if you had 10 shares, then you'd have only 1, and that only 2 days later, the stock just shot up to, I think, $99. So from US 500,000 dividend into 500 million shares, to 500,000 divided, sorry, did I say dividend? I mean divided into 25 million shares of a value of 0.02 each. So that's just a hypothetical number. If that's the value, then it would be worth that much. But basically, the price of the stock, because they're trying to stay listed on the NASDAQ, in order to meet the requirements, they have to be above $1. So if the stock drops to, God forbid, it drops to, let's say 5 cents per share, and they're at 40 right now, right? Around 40, just around 40. It can't drop below 5 cents. Okay, so that's the absolute nightmare situation if it goes down to below 5 cents. But if it stays above 5, and it sounds so crazy to say this, as long as it stays above 5 cents, then they will not be delisted, and that will enable the short squeeze / pump and dump, whatever you want to call it, the price spike to happen, to be real, to no longer just be things of our dreams. Proposal number 2. So each proposal will be voted on. I think that's my assumption, that it's not like plan A or plan B. It's not a choice between one or the other. They will be decided on individually. So I think number 1 is pretty straightforward. I don't see that being voted against. I see the majority of shareholders will vote yes for that, and I personally will. Proposal 2, to consider and vote upon an ordinary resolution to increase the share capital. Basically, let's just get to the point. They're going to dilute the shares. Okay, so they're going to add an additional 475 million shares. They're going to create shares to get more funding. I think that's what it's for. But that's going to have the negative effect of diluting the price. So that might result in them being delisted if this occurs before the reverse stock split. But if this happens after the split, like later on, I'm not saying within hours or days, but within weeks, that's ideal. Within weeks or months later, you don't want to do this too soon. That would be bad. So I would vote no on that, a hard no on proposal 2. Proposal 3, to consider and vote upon a special resolution to delete the existing, basically this is talking about management. Director shall automatically retire from office unless he is vacated. So that's to do with administration, not really to do with the stock so much, in my opinion. Proposal 4, to consider and vote upon a special resolution to create a dual class structure. So if you have Class A shares, you have more votes, but if you have Class B shares, then you have, it says you'll be entitled to 20 votes per share. Each Class B shall be entitled to 20 votes. So Class B, Class A has more votes. No, Class B. Okay, Class A, 1 vote per share. Class B, 20 votes. So you have more votes. Your vote counts for more. It carries more value. So that is proposal 4. It's a bit of a hierarchy going on there. Proposal 5, to adjourn the meeting to a later date or dates to permit further solicitation and vote of proxies in the event that there are insufficient votes. Okay, how can they not have enough votes? Only shareholders of record at the close of business August 21 are entitled to notice and to vote at the annual meeting. It is important your shares are represented. We urge you to review the attached proxy statement. Okay, so those are all the proposals, but I just wanted to look at, they have the purpose of the share consolidation. So what is the point? I mean, I could just make it up and say, okay, we're gonna do a reverse stock split so that the stock will spike and it's gonna squeeze. We're gonna have a pump and dump, basically. I mean, they can't put it in those terms, but essentially that's what's gonna happen. Okay, let me just read it. Okay, so this is a lot of legalese. So basically, what they're saying is that there's no guarantee that the reverse stock split will prevent them from being delisted. That's the bad news. But what they aren't saying, and I'm reading between the lines, is that previously, the previous stock split they did for 1-for-10 consolidation resulted in a short squeeze or pump and dump price spike. It went to $99, right? And so they're basically playing the system, okay, in an illegal way. They're doing this in a completely legal way, and they're going to use the system against itself. So all the short sellers who are holding, creating naked shorts, they're going to be they're going to be smoked out. They won't be able to hide anymore, and they're going to have to pay for the shares that they don't actually own. They're going to have to pay what they are owing. They're going to have to cover their butts. So that is going to result in a massive price spike no matter what. It's going to spike. We don't know to what level, but that's the way these reverse stock splits work. So that is why this is an absolute must that Proposal 1 is approved by the shareholders. And if Proposal 2 does not get enough votes, then it will not become reality. It will not be applicable. So Proposal 1 is really I'm going to say a stroke of genius before it happens, especially, once they're just repeating, lightning in a bottle. It's been happened 3 times, but although it didn't happen on the same circumstances, it did spike 3 times, but the third time was because of a reverse stock split. And so they're trying to essentially replicate what happened just earlier this year, February, right? February 2024, if I'm not mistaken. So that's it in a nutshell. I'm going to read this last post on Reddit, the HOLO Short Squeeze subreddit. The sad truth about HOLO and the reverse split. Next spike. I've been around since the last spike, as well as the mini one in the spring. The Chinese have this figured out. No one is going to be able to get rich off this huge spike. Okay, so this I mean, it's all relative. You may get rich if you hold enough shares, but in this person's case, they're going to have, it says here, how much have you put in? I've put in 4K. I have 3K shares, so I'll have 150. So if it spikes to 40, he'll have 6,000. So if you put in 4,000, you get 6,000. That's a great increase. It's not that's not anything to sneeze at. That's actually a really good gain. That is 50% gain, right? If you're getting 50% of what you put in. So I don't see how this is a good play, even in this person's scenario. So that is a good case scenario if it goes to 40. Let's say it goes to 20. He's only going to have 3,000, but he's still making, what is he going to be making? Will he have less money if he's put in 4,000? Well, he's almost breaking even then. So no, it has to go to at least 30, 40 for him to, at least 30, I think, to break even anyway. The dilution is a bad idea. Okay, so I think that's it for this video. I'll do a separate one on the possible potentialities, like in terms of how many shares do you have, and what the price needs to be. Worst case scenario, not really worst case, but different price brackets, and we'll kind of game that out and see what are the possibilities after the reverse stock split, which I believe is just inevitable. It's not a matter of if it'll happen, it's more when, because makes too much sense to vote for this. It's just common sense, and I think a lot of the shareholders, they want to make money. They're all going to vote yes on proposal 1. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'll probably do another one on the price gaming. We're going to just see how much one could make. Let's just say this person says that they have 3,000 shares. Have 3,000, they'll have 150. Okay, so let's put in 1,000 shares instead of the 150. We'll put it 1,000. Okay, so thanks for your time, and we'll see you in the next one.